Not that way. That's the elevator. I think it's this way. Ah, I think this is it. Yes. Alright. Right, now let's get the power on. Now here we need to be careful. See those rivets on the end of the boilers there? They're not just for show. Ow! Yeah, they're basically bouncing around like bullets and it's in our interest to get the hell out of here. Ah, fuck! I think it was possible to briefly glimpse him behind you at one point. Anyway, we took a hell of a beating there, so... this ghost is not kidding around. Ah, excellent. Alright, top side. Yeah, laugh it up, big guy. Actually, hang on a second. Come on. Yep. Oh, hey. Alright. They've definitely added some sound effects for the patch. They're doing a good job of making the place feel a little less... making it feel a little... less clear in my mind. Making it feel less like I've gone through this before. I mean, you know, it's a linear... It is, in the words of Max Payne, a linear sequence of scares. But it's just enough new detail to confuse my memories and make me a little less certain about what's going to happen. Alright. Another body. Police say second child was chopped up like firewood, which, you know, explains the axe we found. I believe the ghost is pointing to one of these rooms. Ah, perfect. Alright. Uh-huh. Yeah, that kind of says it all there, doesn't it? Oh, hell. Ah! Shit! Ow! This fucking guy. Hey! Ah, good. There was a reason to take that particular beating. Think this way? No. Oh, hey! There she is again. Yep. I was already in there, kiddo. I saw your drawing. It was very nicely done for a... I assume you're like 6 or 7. I suppose it's a little late to keep up with the art art practice, but you know, there was clearly talent at some point. Alright. I believe we just smashed this. I find it interesting that this place looks all burned out except on the walls. Like it's localized to here. Gotta say, nice little bar, still respectably stacked. And unfortunately, I can't enjoy any of it. Alright. Murder-suicide. Ocean House killer possibly responsible for Inferno. So in addition to the husband going nuts and butchering the entire family, he set the place on fire. Let's see, can I lift that? No, just the glass. Believe that just goes back outside. The main way forward is the dumbwaiter here. Alright, so we couldn't hit the button ourselves. I assume the friendly ghost hit that for us, thank you. Very nice lady, very trusting of a vampire. Alright, this is one of the more dangerous rooms. Because these props don't break. And there are a lot of them. If I recall right, I think we can get to a corner here and basically wait this out. But basically, the ghost is going to have a temper tantrum. Oh, hey.
Help me.
I'm working on it. Actually, I think if we hide in here... Wait, no. I remember now. Now we check the door.
He's coming.
Yep. Ghost is going to have a big mad with all the props in this room. And it is enough to do damage to kill you if you're not careful. But yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive spectacle. It is impressive spectacle visually. Even if on subsequent playthroughs you know how to neutralize it. Because again, being undead yourself, it begs the question, how is this thing supposed to hurt you? And the answer is this. And you know, the problem being, how do we hurt it? I think the temper tantrum eventually wears off and goes back. Maybe. Maybe we gotta get over there. I think if we stay low. Ah, there it is. Alright, through here. Alright. Go team, literally me. Alright. This box over here. Here we go. Break that open. And up we go.
Be careful.
Yep, I know. Actually, not a bad idea to read that diary we just picked up. So yeah, this is the charred remains of what looks like a diary. So this is a bit of exposition that starts off decent, but I feel like it gets kind of weak toward the end, and it does something that we're going to see happen a couple times in this game. I don't want to point it out specifically. So yeah, 5:30, 1958. Just arrived here at the Ocean House. We have a week-long holiday here in Santa Monica, and Ed has booked us a room for the hotel's grand opening. It's a wonderful place, almost magical. The children have been swimming all afternoon. Alright, May 31st. The first 2 days have been almost perfect, except that Ed can't seem to stop asking about the locket I received from my mother. He seems to think it was sent to me by some other admirer. Ed can be sweet, but sometimes his jealousy can get the better of him. Hopefully he'll feel better tomorrow. Alright, June 1st. Sun is out today, not a cloud in the sky. Ed seems a little on edge, keeps guessing as to who my new boyfriend is. Silly Ed. June 3rd. There was a picnic for the hotel guests this morning. Quite a grand affair. Ed is in a dark mood. I don't know what I can do to reassure him that he is my one and only love. The only time he seemed to brighten up was when he was speaking to the groundskeeper. Boys and their tools. June 4th. We only have 2 days left, and thank God we're finally going home. Ed won't speak to me or the children, and I found him more than once in the bathroom holding the locket and staring at it. I'm afraid he suffered some sort of breakdown. I've told him we can go home, but he just shakes his head. He won't look at me. I just want to go home. Alright, June 5th. Ed left early this morning, and I haven't seen him since. If I haven't seen him in another hour, I'm going to call the hotel manager. Against my better wishes, Ed Jr. went to look for him downstairs in the basement. I'm going to send Tiffany down to fetch him. Wait, someone is knocking at the door. Wait for it. Oh my god, Ed covered in blood, coming to kill me. Locked myself in bathroom. He's gone crazy. Keeps shouting, we'll be together forever, and he'll never let me go. Someone please help. The writing trails off at the end of the page. So yeah, somewhat hilariously, she continued to write that her husband was trying to kill her while he was trying to kill her. That is some dedication to chronicling your own demise, I must say. I mean, that's right out of... That is troll level of... They're killing... He killed them, and now he's killing me. Oh my god! Or actually... I think that was literally a gag from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Anyway, we gotta be careful here, because... We're entering an elevator shaft, and this will kill us if we're not quick. Yep. Ed isn't playing. He's getting mean now. Alright. Time to scale this, very Valvian ladder there. There we go. But yeah, I just find it kind of, like, hilarious. And an otherwise interesting... An interesting point of contrast and an otherwise excellently done spook level. That you've got a woman who is just writing down the fact that Ed was coming to kill her, and he was, like, right outside the door. And the funny thing is that this is a gag, not even a gag, really. It's a thing the game does again. Ooh, hey, Scarlett Torkelson, circus performer. Biography of 1930s circus performer Scarlett the Perforated Lady Torkelson. Best known as the assistant to Shaky Sill Manfredi, the notorious epileptic knife thrower. This book raises your dodge talent. Alright, so we can't gain from that, unfortunately, but we can sell skill books we don't need. And this place being abandoned, you might as well sell anything you find. I believe that... Ah! So here's the punchline here. Murders unsolved. Mother or father could have been Ocean House killer. So yeah, the fire covered up the evidence, and it's not clear to authorities which one was actually responsible. And like that, we have the actual dilemma here. This is why the ghosts are stuck here. Because it was never proven who actually did all this. I think there's something... There's a trinket hidden in here somewhere. Ooh, okay, that was new. Whoa, wow. Yeah, we're definitely getting some new attacks in this patch. Which I approve of. I think that's a nice little touch. Again, just enough new little things to keep you on your toes. Oh! Ah! That actually might have been in the original. I think that just genuinely caught me off guard. Hey! Haha. You broke a lamp on a chair. This is a weak sauce haunting. Ow! Okay, I had that one coming. So yeah, getting a lot more aggravated in expressions of paranormal activity. I could have sworn... Because yeah, there's something in here that gives you a permanent increase to your stats or defenses or something. I might look this up, actually. Oh boy. Alright. It's taking it up a notch. Eek. This, naturally, is a huge problem for us. Just put some blood on aspects. Yeah. Again, I feel like this game should give us a flashlight, but what are you gonna do? Ow! Jesus Christ. Okay. Doing some for realsies damage here. I think we've reached the end of the gauntlet. Hey, how about that? So yeah, that's a cool transition. Just briefly going back to the past, and I assume that's the good ghost helping you. And, interesting detail here, you see that ship out there? That's something you can see in other areas that are facing the water, and that will become relevant later in the story. This is another area where the Deus Ex comparisons are prescient, and that the game is constantly laying out narrative threads before you, some of which are relevant to your immediate situation, and some of which play out over the course of the game. But when something comes up, it's almost never completely out of the blue. There's always an element of, oh, that's what they were talking about. Hey, I think I've... No? Maybe they moved it. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think this was the drawer that it was in. Sorry, I'm jumping topics here. But yeah, the patch, I think, moved some of the relics around. Anyway. But yeah, that is the strength of this game, is that it is rock solid in terms of its core narrative, and it is excellently paced. It is regularly moving you at a... It is regularly moving you from one objective to the next, while giving you plenty of time to explore, and it is never bringing elements out of left field. Anytime it introduces a new plot element, it does so in a way that is fair and considered. That's always been quietly there in the background, and it's just a question of whether you've noticed it before or not. Huh. How do I get out of here? Huh. Oh, there it is. Hey, alright. I believe we're done here, then. Now, interesting detail, regardless of which staircase you went up, you can see here that the texture of the stairs is shaded differently. That's the part that will break away regardless of which one you walk up, and now it will stay intact when you go to leave. Again, it is a linear spook house, but it is well constructed, and it tells a simple, concise tale. With the bit with the journal, I think the only narrative stumble there. Oh, they changed the music, too. Nice. But yeah, just very strong visual and map design, storytelling through map design in this game. Anyway, back to the club. Alright. Therese is not here. Jeanette is. I want to save before talking to her.
Not even a knock? I could have been undressing. And who knows what I would have had to do to you. You're here to see Her Royal Majesty Queen Victoria, aren't you?
Yeah, I need to see Therese.
Therese is out making a show of how well her lips fit on the pants seat of the Camarilla. Did you happen to find her chastity belt or something?
I need to give something to Therese. It's from the hotel.
Ooh, can I see it?
Oh, now here is... So I think the patch changed the dialogue a little bit, but this decision point was in the original game, obviously. If we give this necklace to Therese, or if we give this necklace to Jeanette, Therese is pissed off at us. But more than that, she doesn't actually exorcise the ghosts of the hotel. It even says it in the quest description that they continue to haunt the property, probably because actually exorcising them would factor into Therese's plans, and Jeanette wants to sabotage it. So here we go. We gotta stick to our guns here. I'd rather give it to Therese.
I'm not just some silly doll, you know. All my life, my sisters made me out to be a joke. She told you I was an embarrassment, didn't she? That I couldn't tie my shoes, let alone hold on to something for her. Is that it?
So we're getting into the insecurities beneath the carefree party girl vibe. No, please calm down.
She's always belittling me. She's the smart one. She's the favorite. She's the successful one. Well, that's not fair. I'm not a fool. This club's success is just as much my doing as it is hers.
So there's a purpose to dialogue that sides with either her or Therese beyond quest resolutions and such. Even the flavor options here, I believe, have some meaning in the eventual resolution of this quest. But, yeah, I understand, but I still can't give it to you. We're trying to be polite, and there's a purpose behind that.
Do you understand what it's like to have your own flesh and blood ripping you apart on a daily basis for 2 lifetimes? Can you?
I'm sorry to hear that, Jeanette, but I really need to give it to Therese.
Fine, you hold on to it. Since you're so willing to brave that big spooky place for my darling sister, how about doing a teensy tiny favor for little troubled me?
Alright, fine, why not? What would put a smile on that face?
Do you know Gallery Noir down the street? I happen to know there's a charity event being organized there. Lots of influential Santa Monicans slithering in for token appearances. But there's one thing they don't know. The whole event's been set up by a kindred trying to establish their own power clique in our city. And we can't let that happen, can we? So I need some brilliant young upstart to spoil the milk.
What do I need to do?
I promise this won't take long. Take this knife. Give the paintings in the gallery a good slashing. Don't get caught, and don't turn it into a massacre. And steal the charity box, would you? Buy yourself something velvet.
I'm not gonna steal charity money. Destroy art? I perish the thought of such odious deeds. I refuse. Oh, if only. That would be a fun little refusal line, but yeah.
It's not what you think. Every pretty penny dropped in that box is going right into some other kindred's purse. You'd be crooking from a dirty steal.
I'm not stealing charity money, but I'll do the rest. Then you'll call off the feud.
I'm sure Therese will be thrilled to honor your agreement when you get back. But in the meantime, get to the museum and ruin those paintings. Then pay me a visit. I want to hear all about it. Hurry up. I can only amuse myself for so long.
Alright, be back soon. Goodbye.
Oh, and there was something about the paintings. What was it? I can't remember. Oh well, have fun, Duckling.
So there's going to be something special about those paintings, and we will assuredly find out. But as long as Therese is out of here, let's hack her email. Hey! Alright, Nectar of the Gods. So yeah, this confirms it. Vandal Cleaver is her ghoul. So yeah, Miss Vorman, your humble servant has done his all to provide you with another batch of the finest sanguine spirits, and I apologize for not pouring it when you asked last time. Forgive me. Unlike you, I'm an imperfect being. So yeah, Vandal is a very out of character here, which implies that he is actively being humiliated as Therese's servant. Next. So from Julian Johnson, look, Miss Vorman, I'm really sorry to do this, but the men won't work there anymore. They say it's haunted. Alright, next is from Jeanette. Why are you always so mean? Birdie's not so bad once you get to know him. You're the disgusting one. Alright, contacts. Business. These people really need to learn some basic password security. Alright, LaCroix. Okay, Camberwell, Prince of L.A. I know 555, I believe, is a common... It is a common element of phone numbers in fiction, just so people aren't dialing real people. But I always wondered if there is someone actually at a 555 number in reality. I assume they have to have used it at some point. Alright, Tongue. A local Nosferatu. Johnson. Alright. Community Construction. Miller. Jeff the Flow Miller. Ah, disc jockey. Alright, there must be someone that works here. Vandal. Vandal Cleaver. Blood Bank Manager. Laboo. Art Coordinator. Alright, so that's gotta be... whoever it is that works... That's gotta be the person that works at Gallery Noir. Let's pay them a visit. 555 is actually reserved for fictional purposes. That would make sense, yeah. Yeah, kind of like how they'll come up with a fake domain whenever they use people, whenever they have an email address. And every now and then you have something that doesn't do that. Like, I think it was Outlast that had an email, like a Gmail address for one of the characters in it. And that happened to line up with a person's real name, and he just randomly got He just periodically got emails from people asking questions about the game or something. Highly amusing, that. Anyway, Gallery Noir is here. First, we're going to want to dump some stuff off at Trips. Sort this situation out, and then we will take a break. Gallery Noir, huh? Go. Oh, it's locked. Now this is interesting. We'll be introduced to that fella shortly, but normally he's standing out in front of here, so I think the game wants to bait you into trying to pick the lock here. So you see there's that cop walking by. We do want to avoid being seen breaking the law. Oh, they've changed it. Now, 555, 100 through 199 are left reserved for fiction. The others can be given out. Oh, neat. I imagine there's got to be a few that slipped in that case. Anyway, let us try this. Damn, okay. So this they've definitely changed. Now instead of going in through the front, this door is locked with a skill of 10. So I think you have to talk to him here rather than deal with him before going in the door. So we'll look for another way in.
Hey, hold on a minute there. I'm afraid you are committing a 351. That's trespassing on private property. I'm gonna have to ask that you vacate the premises immediately, or I'm afraid I'll be forced to radio this in.
So yeah, Chunk here, and that is his name, is going to be one of the more important characters of the game. Didn't you get the call?
Huh? What call are you talking about there, Chief?
One of the artists pissed off the director or son to pull their art from the show.
And who might you be then, Chief?
I'm the museum director's assistant. Think you can let me in?
Yeah? Does that pay well? Just taking one look at you, I'd say there's a lot of money in that line of work. Me, security's in my blood. My father, father's father, my 6 brothers. Yeah, we're all real keen on upholding the law, like a family of Magnum PIs.
This is all very interesting, but I do have a job to do here, sir.
Look, I'll let you in, but I'll be filing a 62A on this when I get back to the security station after my shift. Just so you're aware.
I'd expect it. Better file a 451B, better a 45B as well, just to make sure.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, who wouldn't file a 45B, huh? Everyone knows about 45B. Anyway, go ahead on in, and you have yourself a nice night.
See ya. Okay, now he'll unlock it for us, and then we go on the front. So yeah, again, just sound like you belong, and like you know more about the regulations than the person you're trying to fool. Now, interesting story about this cash box. Now that normally stealing it triggers a humanity loss, but now that we have talked to Jeanette and learned that this whole thing is a front for a vampire group, do you think we actually... I think that negates the humanity penalty. But regardless, Therese is pissed at you if you do this, so we refrain from doing that. But we do need to destroy the paintings here. And as we go through them, you will see a theme. So, yeah. Cain slays Abel. Cain spurns Lilith. Cain cursed by God. Cain meets Lilith. You can probably guess the sequence here. But the puzzle is not the problem. The problem is what happens afterward. Regardless, let's start from the top. Notice the music kind of getting more intense. And for our efforts, we've got this fucking thing to deal with. Alright. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, yeah. Very difficult to use the 38 special in melee conditions, especially early in the game, so I think we're just going to have to beat the shit out of this thing. You can see that does more damage, but at the same time, that puts us up close. Fortunately, our block is enough that we can shrug off his attacks. But he's doing aggravated damage, which has the annoying penalty of taking longer to heal. Ow. Actually, now might be a good time to throw on some presents there. That'll make us a little more potent. Melee combat is not very sophisticated. Yeah, a lot of tomato ooze, exactly. There's theoretically some advanced maneuvers you can do with high enough unarmed skill, but your basic 1-2 block combo will get you through most one-on-one encounters. Anyway. Oh, wrong button. That's it. That was back there. So yeah, doing this, summon some weird blood guardian. We really have no context for this. I don't think they ever explain what it is. It's just basically a big neon sign saying, vampires involved. This is all way weirder than you expect.
Bad boys, bad boys! What do you think you're gonna do when I come for you?
God bless you, Chunk. Anyway, I think we'll sip on one of these. That'll give us a bit of blood and a bit of health back. Yeah, the main problem with aggravated damage is it radically slows down your healing. Even a sliver of it will... If you, like I talked about this during the tutorial, but if you take some normal damage and then like a single hit of aggravated damage, the entire bar will take slow to heal. So it is a problem, and you want to heal up from that as soon as possible. Yeah. It's a thaumaturgical blood golem. A flimsy excuse, but they tried. Yeah, it feels like one of those things that is from the broader context of the World of Darkness that they don't really explain. Just to remind you, weird shit happens, and you're just seeing a narrow slice of it. And that is certainly a running theme through this game.
You. What were you thinking?
Usually I'm not.
The museum. That was my event. Did you think I wouldn't find out?
Wait a second. Hold on a minute.
Shut up. I thought I could control my sister as long as Tongue was out of the picture, but nothing's changed. I should have expected that you'd succumb to Jeanette's influence like all the others, but how dare you!
I didn't do it, I swear. Yeah, that's a real convincing excuse there.
Don't lie to me! Jeanette already confessed she tricked you into doing it. It was probably all Tongue's idea. I'll deal with them later. But that's still no excuse for you ruining my museum.
Ruined? Now, hold on a minute. I did destroy a weird monster that would surely have been a problem. I mean, okay, maybe nobody would have destroyed the series of paintings in that sequence. But, you know, I feel like there's some shit happening there you probably were not aware of. So I almost certainly saved you a headache here. But anyway, I swear I didn't do it. I even brought you the item for the ocean house and a diary from there.
Excellent. I'll take that. However, Jeanette claimed you did it for her. But let's say I believe you. After all, you've acted decently and rationally up to now.
So that's a
I imagine
flag
you'd
right
still
there.
want me to call off the feud.
Yes.
There's only one problem. If Tongue gets word that I threatened Jeanette, which he most certainly already has, it's not likely he'll believe me. So, in order to call off the feud, you're going to have to convince Jeanette to forgive me first.
Oh, that's going to be a tall order. But yeah, for Santa Monica's most powerful kindred, I'd be happy to.
I made some threats against my sister. Idle threats, involving fire and her impious satin sheets. She took them quite seriously, and is avoiding me. I want to meet with her, and explain that they were said in the heat of the moment. I asked her to meet me at the Surfside Diner, to reconcile, but I'm busy with the club and my other endeavors. I'd like you to go to the diner and promise her that I don't plan to take any action against her. Wait for her in the back booth, near the phones.
Seems legit. That the feud is off?
I want to see my sister. Yes, I'll call it off once I've spoken with her myself. Just do what I ask.
I'll do. Alright. We're nearing the end of this little back and forth here. Just checking to see if there's anything in the bathroom. Doesn't look like it. And we are at the hour and a half mark, more or less. So we'll take a break in a minute. Less than a minute, I should say. But I do need to show off one very important part of this game's charm. Something that it simply would not be it would not be as beloved as it is without this element. Ladies and gentlemen, time to put on my red shoes. Let's dance. You ever notice she isn't wearing anything under her suit jacket? I did, yeah. A nice touch. But yes, it's time to get down with our bad self in the most painful-ass white person way possible. And of course, this gathers a bunch of people around us who have the exact same dance animation. Hell yeah! And I got like we got this emo dude just standing in the middle of this. They'll keep this up more or less indefinitely until we stop. So of course we're gonna do this for the entire break. So yeah, time for some exercise. Alright, and back. I think that's enough dancing there. And right back in. Off of you. That's the stuff. Now, got some work to do. What was your story? Oh, right, yeah, she's one of the people you can drink from. Oh, great. So many good lines if you have no seduction here. Like what you see? I know I do.
You are so not my type.
Yep, yep. Gonna be getting a lot of that, unfortunately. Oh well. Anyway. So we've got two things here that we can do. One plot relevant, one side quest relevant. Foxy Boxes, that the whole Knox thing pointed us at, is over here. Surfside Diner is right here. Both are going to lead to combat encounters. Now, if I remember, one gives us access to a better weapon first. So I'm going to go into the diner here. Something we might want when dealing with the other. So, yeah. Some fellas here that mean, obviously, you're up to no good.
Hey, where you going, man?
Oh, okay. So, this is interesting. I don't think you could do this in the original game. This might be patch content. Yeah, if it's not important to you and your conspicuous friends, or shall I call the cops before something happens? Yeah, this is almost certainly mod added.
Get out of here, man.
Motherfucker! Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, yeah, spoiler alert, those guys attack us. Pretty much regardless of what you do here, and it looks like the patch just gives you more options for dealing with them. One of them, however, had a shotgun. We're gonna need that. But, so we are here supposedly to meet with Jeanette. But as soon as we go back over this way... Oh, hell. Alright. Game time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah. Ah, God damn it. Time like this, wish I wasn't such a shit vampire. Like, they're supposed to be bulletproof and, like, transform and have mind control and shit. But no, I get bitten by the vampire whose vampiric powers were basically see better and move quicker. That's about it. Yeah, I know we're getting shot to ribbons here. You see there, our damage per shot went up slightly. Well, Auspex is up. But being a gunner at this stage of the game is not very advisable. Especially considering how easy it is to clip the sides of obstacles that don't look like they would give the cover they do. Alright. Actually, I can probably just beat the shit out of this guy now. There we go. Oh shit, the fight kicked me out of Twitch. Oh boy. Hang on, hang on. Of all the times for Twitch to pull a Twitch. Anyway, problem solved with more violence than expected. Now we get that phone call. Hello?
I'm terribly sorry about that. My sister was just furious about your refusal to take part in her design, so she sent those men to kill you. But I'm going to make sure it never happens again. Drop by. We'll take care of this kind of business. She's crazy! Help!
Yeah, Twitch being Twitch. But anyway, long story short, one sister or the other has betrayed us, and it appears to be Therese now, who sent a whole bunch of guys after us, and at that point, I have to assume she either thinks so little of us that a bunch of random goons with cheap guns is going to do the trick, or she's counting on us getting through this somehow. It's a little unclear, but there's a reason for that. But anyway, the most important thing we got from that, the shotgun. This we're going to need. As Jack talked about in the intro, shotguns are somewhat effective against supernaturals. Now, in this game, the first shotgun you get, this thing here, is very classic video game shotgun in the basically useless after 5 feet sense. So you kind of need to get real close to someone before it does any appreciable damage. Still, better than the 38 Special by far.
Thanks for coming back. What you need?
More importantly, I think this might let us...
Here's what we got today.
Ah, fuck, it does not. I was hoping having the weapon would let us buy ammunition from Trip. It does not appear to be it does not appear to be the case. We might have to... Actually, I am curious. If we sold him the shotgun and then
Thanks
bought
for
it
coming
back,
back.
would that do it?
What
Let's
you
find
need?
out.
Alright, here's what we got today.
So if we sell this... Don't do this, kids at home. This is a terrible investment. $7. Because, yeah, now you pay $162 for it. Ah, okay, so that does unlock shotgun ammo if you want to get more of it. Now, it's not worth the amount of money you spend. You could maybe work this out if you had a very high haggle skill, but you're very unlikely to have that this early in the game. But yeah, the big advantage of the shotgun is it has knockback. So anything humanoid that gets close to you that takes a full shotgun blast to the chest will get thrown back, and that's very handy for dealing with melee-focused supernaturals, which happens to be a lot of the more annoying bosses. Like the one we're about to face. You really would need ammo, exactly. Anyway, we go in here. This, you may recall, is in pursuit of the Asian vampire that was hounding Knox. Not a lot to this, but there is a laptop over here with some information. Reports. It's not even locked. Dude wants people to break in. Alright, report 01. My initial observations of the city indicate that the Canites here are both scattered and unorganized. There are 3 individuals of note, but they seem to be involved in some sort of dispute. I shall continue to watch and listen. Yeah, I was a little curious about that, because I'm kind of... The whole Lily side quest made me wonder how many people would it take to feed a vampire without killing any humans or seriously wounding them. I'm kind of curious. Anyway, report 02. These Canites are a curious and fragile race. They waste their gift of their immortality on petty schemings and fleshly gain. We will have little problem making the city our own. Alright, 10/21/04. This also gives us a time frame for the game, by the way. It seems that my presence here has been noted by one of the Canites, a Nosferatu, I believe they are called. He has entrusted the responsibility of my surveillance to a bumbling mortal fool. I have begun to follow this so-called spy. A small, amusing respite from my usual duties. 10/23/04. I'm banking it's like a 4-to-1 ratio of humans to vampires that you need to feed on. And give enough time to recover before starting the cycle again. Could be mistaken, of course. Anyway, report 04. I've drawn the attention of a newcomer, an agent of the Prince, who has discovered the corpse of Virgil Crumb. I know very little about this individual, but they seem much more resourceful than most Canites I've observed. I'll prepare myself in the event that our paths cross because an altercation seems imminent. If I do not survive, let my last report state that Santa Monica is ripe for the taking. We'll find little resistance if we come in force. So this is crucial because it tells us the date of the game. Today is October 23rd, 2004. So this game is being set in a very specific time and place, which I think informs a lot of the writing and surrounding atmosphere of the game, especially the stuff you hear on the radio. Very much early in the War on Terror, halfway through the Bush administration, the second Bush administration, I should clarify, with the attendant socio-political culture that involves. But more on that later. Right now we have a boss fight to be ready for. Okay. So on average, a vampire can extract around 5 points of VTI while surviving the attack. A vampire can store 10 and must spend 1 per day minimum to wake up. Interesting. All right. So basically you'd have to have a few humans per vampire, so you could cycle through them and give the humans time to restock, more or less. Interesting. All right. Anyway, let us introduce ourselves to this extremely polite vampire-ish thing, who's nonetheless going to make our lives hell. Oh, damn it. I think I didn't, accept here. Okay. Ranged weapons. Here we go. Alright. So, interesting fact about this guy. He'll switch between melee and range depending on how you engage him. If you get close enough, he will chase you down and just start slashing you with a sword. But as you can see here, he's kind of bouncing around making a nuisance of himself with a crossbow. There we go. That's some damage. Alright. So yeah. Just backpedaling with a revolver will eventually get the job done. But you're very likely to just get cut in half. So instead, we're just going to take the fight to him. So the sword cut through my defenses there, so we're not going to be able to block our way out of this. Go ahead and use this blood heal ability. There we go. Got him. Okay, human would regenerate the damage within 1 day. Alright. So you don't necessarily need to drink deep to sustain yourself, and it's more a question of how much is your blood used between your abilities. Fair enough. Anyway, that takes care of that fella. And he did drop himself this thing. Shingunzo. This is a mass-produced military version of the traditional Japanese katana. Not as effective as a real one, but quite dangerous nonetheless. Bit interesting this guy would have one, considering what he's supposed to be, basically from the Chinese sect of vampires called the Kuei-jin. Although I think he is... I'm not sure if he's a full-on version of them himself, because you saw he left a corpse and didn't, like, disintegrate like most supernaturals do. So I think there's, like, intermediate steps where they have some abilities, like ghouls, but are not necessarily full-on supernatural beings. Important to remember that Vitae is not actually blood. Right, it's like the essence that blood contains that they sustain themselves on. So 1 point of Vitae doesn't necessarily map to 1 pint of blood or whatever. Makes sense. Anyway, with that resolved, we can go turn this quest into Knox. We're going to have a significant confrontation with Jeanette and Therese. Hey, out of the way. Hey, Knox, did your work for you?
Yo, dude, you do that thing yet?
The thing has been done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You should get rid of this.
Oh, thank God! Oh, man! Yes! That thing was hounding me like every night. Look, still haven't heard anything from Bertram. Sorry, okay? I'll still let him know, but for now, I have no way to repay you.
Any idea what that thing was?
Bertram said it's like a vampire, but different. No, it's like what they have in China instead of vampires. He said lots of them have been coming to California for some reason. I don't know.
So, more on that later. But again, an example of the game signposting what's to come. But leaving it optional for you to deal with. But anyway, we have a much bigger mess coming up real shortly. And we are not going to be able to fight our way out of this one. Part of how ancients can store hundreds of points of Vitae in their human-sized bodies without becoming hyper-pressurized. Now that makes sense. Yeah, that has to do particularly with their generation. That's why diablerie is such a taboo in vampire society. Anyway. Oh, we got a bunch of experience to spend. Pretty good at persuasion. I think we need 6 for what's coming up, but we'll want to hang out of some of that just in case. We are going to spend some here. We'll say... So that and Brawl and... Yeah, you know what? Why not? We're going to need that for what's coming. Anyway...